So most of June was, so I did a summer camp. So now summer camp is over. Yeah. Hello. It's been a hot minute since I last made a video. It's been a really long time. My excuse if you see anything in my office area, it's a complete mess because I have just finally finished summer camp for my kids. There's so much to go over. Let me go grab my coffee, turn off the TV for a moment because I still really need to clean the classroom, and I will update you on everything that's been going on for the last 2 months. I don't think I put any videos up in July. Earlier this month, I think. I don't think. Yeah, look, one moment. Alright, I got some food. I'm gonna relax for a few minutes and talk to you guys about the things that I have done in the last 2 months. I think I have mentioned it in some of my earlier videos that I have been very busy. So busy that I pretty much did not have time to do a whole load of other things. So if you don't know, one of the things that you have to do as an ESL teacher is you have to do summer camp. Usually you do summer camp at your school. Sometimes you can volunteer to do summer camp at other schools, which is what I did this year. Usually I typically go, I'll just do my year. And because usually I also don't get asked to do summer camp at other schools. I did do one my first year and for elementary, but then COVID happened, and so that went out the door of doing it at other schools. And so this is the first year that I've actually decided, oh, you know what, I have a little time. That's when I thought I had time. Turns out I was wrong. So most of June was spent between prepping for my second year and third year's speaking exams, because I have to give them out a speaking exam. Usually it's just 5 questions, very easy. So basically I chose the questions that they were going to answer, then I made a PowerPoint for them to use and a worksheet for them to use, because the week before the actual test I show them the questions and then we prepare the answers together. That way they know what they're going to have, that way they know how to answer it, and that the worksheet is there for them to practice with so that they're prepared. I like to do it this way because it allows them to know the questions beforehand and ask me and my co-teacher any questions about how to properly answer those questions. And they're so super easy questions. They're like, typically I choose 3 from our lessons, which is typically a very easy one. Like I think second year's first question is, tell me 5 things you can do, because they're practicing I can. So yeah, very easy questions. So we had that. So I had to prepare for that, make that, and then present that to my kids. And then the week after that, I had to test my kids. So I spent another week basically going over the questions, but in a test form. So they would sit in front of me and I would ask the questions and then they would answer and then I would mark it off. My kids are really good. Most of them were over 90. For the most part, they did very well, and I thought it was pretty good. So that was pretty much the end of June. In between all of that, I was prepping for 4. That's right, 4 different summer camps. 2 at my school and 2 at 2 other schools. So I did a summer camp at Indulk Middle School. They're not too far. I taught a summer camp there, basically for first years only. I didn't have to do second years or third years, just first years, which was a fun one. I did a pop music camp for them, and to make my life uber easy, I used the same elements from that camp for my third years at my school camp, because in my third years only have 1 day. So I decided to make my life easy is to take the first year's stuff, change some of the language so it fits more of the third year's abilities, and use that in my camp, my school. So that made it easy, but it still meant that I had to do a lot of like switching around and working things out for the third years, because they are a little bit more advanced in the first years. So I had to prep for that one, and then I also had to prep for another one for my friend Omar, who teaches at the school next door in the neighborhood, like next door. And so I had to prep for Omar's school. Now the Indok one, they kind of gave me the choice of what my theme was. So of course I did music because it's easy, it's fun, and I can get the kids to do lots of stuff with it. But Omar's, their theme was a country. So I went very easy because I was just like, I can't think of anything. I don't want to think too much. And plus I already had a lot of these elements from previous camps. So I chose the UK, which was great. This is good. However, the first years, so if I remember correctly, even though it was like a whole lot 2 weeks ago, there were no second years who signed up for camp at their school. So it was just third years and first years. And if I remember correctly, I didn't have as much for first years just because I took out one of the elements that the third years would do, and because I didn't want to like overstimulate the first years. It was this thing where you read about different people who lived in apartments and you decided where they lived based on their information. So it's like a little puzzle, a little bit of like an English riddle. So the third years got that. I was able to extend out one of the activities for first years, so it was more than they needed to do, but I can't remember which one it was. Okay, but who cares? And then do that, and then on top of prepping for those 3, I also had to prep for my first years and second years, and I made it super easy for myself and took one that I've already done that these kids haven't even seen. So I had done my first year, a Harry Potter one, and I got a lot of the elements off of Weiguk. And so if you are an English teacher, there is like a lot of elements that you can get from the Harry Potter world and make a Harry Potter camp off of Weiguk. I did get some other things from other places, but trying to make myself a little bit less stressed about it, I took what I had there and then I condensed, literally my first year's was 5 days. I condensed 5 days of the activities into 2 days. So I took out a lot of elements and then I took out a lot of things that they were gonna do. So I was so busy the end of May, all of June, and then the beginning of July. Like anytime I had any like free time at school, typically I would be able to do things like edit the video or film something, but because I was so busy and I had so many other things that I needed to do, I forgot it. I decided that making videos and editing videos was going to have to take the back burner for the moment. So yeah, that is the reason why I haven't put out a proper video, I don't think, since God knows when. I could check, but I'm really lazy right now. I'm really tired. So I had to prep for all of that, and then I had to do all of that. On top of that, I actually had to start teaching first years. So if you don't know, most of the semester I haven't had to teach the first years. The first years have been doing completely different things, and my first year co-teacher, who teaches the reading and writing of the English course, and she was also taking over for the listening and speaking part because they were using my time to do other English stuff for the first years. So it was more like it's more of like a gradual thing for the first years to get into it, so they don't get so overstimulated with jumping right into listening and speaking with me. So they had to do a lot of like gradual stuff to get to it. Basically they had a whole bunch of other project stuff that they do. So that's what they did instead of my class. But they finished all of that literally the beginning of July. So then I had to start teaching them lesson 3. Some of them lesson 3, and I had to do all of it. And usually, if you know me, it's 3 pages of listening and speaking. I usually divide it into 3 different parts. So for them to be bombarded with all 3 parts and 2 new expressions that they had to practice, learn, and then play a game with, it's a bit much. So I also had that on top of it. And then with that, I have my own schoolwork. So this is my second to last course. I just finished the last essay that I have to do it. And let me tell you, the last 2 weeks for that course have been a absolute struggle because we took a week off for the 4th of July vacation, and then the week after that I was so busy that I really did. I ended up getting a B on that presentation, but I knew it wasn't going to be that great just because I've been so busy that I had only the evenings and then Saturday and Sunday to work on it. And a lot of times my evenings, I'm coming home, eating dinner, trying to relax a little bit, trying to do some work, and then I'm just too tired and I crash. I literally will fall asleep in the middle of my bed when I'm like reading something. So it's been a struggle. I am very happy that that course is over because I was done. I pretty much was done with that course. So now summer camp is over. The only thing I have to worry about now is telephone English, which is 2 weeks. Totally fine because I'll be here on the phone calling. I'll be doing it all morning from 9 to 12:30, but I am totally fine with that. Well, most of the time I usually get just their like Korean in Korean, and I usually try to work out their names and then like write in a note on the side. My co-teacher decided to write them their Korean names in English so I can have a better pronunciation. That's really nice of them. Except for one person decided to go by Melissa. Oh my goodness, I have several. Okay, so I have one person who's going by Melissa, another one who's going by Lily, one who's going by Irene, and another who's going by Jeff. That is cute. I know that, I'm pretty sure that that's not their names because I'm looking at their Korean names and I have this to look forward to for the next 2 weeks, and then I'm on a week vacation. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have completely forgotten my outro. Wow. Okay. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed already, would you consider subscribing? I would be ever so grateful, especially now that I'm coming back. If you also like to come check me out on Twitch, I try to stream at least twice a week. I'm hoping to stream this week, especially now that summer camp is over, so probably gonna stream this week. The summer I would probably should be, if I'm not going to be traveling everywhere, I'll probably try to stream every day. If I do travel everywhere, I'll try to bring my stuff to stream. I have things that I can use to make some streams, but the gaming won't be PC gaming. It will probably be end up Switch gaming because that's the only thing I can portably take with me. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful day and I will see you next time. Bye.
Every time